So I don't usually talk to people about it. I'm like a kind of a closet Gundam fan because most Gundam is unwatchable trash.
Yeah.
Okay. But when it's good, it's really good. The Gundam that's good is amazing, and the Gundam that's mad makes you embarrassed to watch anime. So it's like hard. I don't look at this guy. Hang on, look at him. Look at his little rabbit ears.
Where you go? Where you go?
Bunny Man, away! I'm gonna tell everybody in Bunny Town about this.
It's true. It's secretly a 3-player game. He's the other kaiju.
Just
He's
tapping
big for a bunny.
He's down there just playing Quap, trying to get out of town. But so when people are like, do you like Gundam? I just go, yeah, no, I never really watched it. Because if I'm like, yeah, I like Gundam, people are like, yeah, man, I fucking love Gundam Wing. I have to be like, oh, now I don't want to talk to you anymore because Gundam Wing's terrible and I don't want to. I mean, like it if you like it, but I don't want to talk to you about it because I have nothing nice to say. If you're in here and you want to talk to me about Gundam Endless Waltz, keep on rolling. Plenty of people love it. I'm not one of them. It comes up a lot because I spent many years working at a comic book shop and we sold like Gundam models.
Gundam kits, yeah.
So people come in and like, oh dude, you have Gundam Heavy Arms? That's my favorite. And I can't say, you have trash taste. Stop. I don't want to talk to you because I worked there. Someone's like, dude, Death Side Gundam, that's my jam. Your jam is horseshit. You are raised wrong and you don't belong. Please go die somewhere and thicken the gene pool a little bit.
Jesus.
The human race doesn't need you. It's not my show, who cares?
Strong opinions coming from Val.
Yeah, no, I just don't like those Gundams is all.
That's fair.
It's right. My opinion's much looser on it, but I never get to. I have to hold back on saying mean things about it, or I had to for like 6 years. So now when it comes out, it's just a damn bursting because I had to sit and smile while people talk to me about fucking Gundam 00 and just all the work. Whenever I'm out in the wild and I talk to somebody about Gundam and they're like, have you seen the newest Gundam? I'm like, no, I haven't gotten around. I'm just trying to like end the conversation. Dude, the pilot, 5 years old. Like, what are you trying to sell me? How do I, that's a real conversation I had with a real person. And I'm just like, what is the fastest way out of this conversation?
I'd just be like, robots all suck!
I don't, yeah, I a lot of times I just say, no, I don't watch anime. Steve gave me the best one. I mean to use this in the future. Because I was talking about an old man who cornered me to talk about the Illuminati.
Oh, good.
He just said, you know about the Illuminati? And I just, like, what answer will make you stop talking to me? There isn't one. I'm trapped.
Well, it would be funny to just turn the heel and be like, I know more than you do.
I am the Illuminati.
I know more than
I
you
just do the triangle and back. So, but Steve gave me a gem. He goes, if somebody says something like that to you, this is Sleepy Steve, look him in the eyes and say, I think I just shit my pants. And just walk away. Conversation over. They will not talk to you again.
If I'm at poop.
I'm gonna shit myself. You are safe, man.
I'm gonna shit myself, not because I have to.
Because I want to.
For the sport.
For the sport. I'm in a betting pool. I get points for the worst place to shit my own pants.
And so far, not the worst.
Have you ever heard,
Woo!
Have you heard that story about,
Yeah.
Shit. This obviously, by you'll hear by the sentence that it was years ago, but, like, David Cross famously had a bet with a group of other comedians of, like, the worst places to do cocaine. And he did cocaine next to President Obama. Like a tiny, the point was just for the bet, and he did it so that he would have the forever coup de grace and
that's hard to beat.
Can't be stopped. And he just did like a clothes pin, not a clothes pin. What am I trying to say?
Just
like
a fucking bump.
Like a pin drop amount, like a pinhead amount of cocaine. Just be like, boom, that's it. And then Secret Service picked him up and was like, come on, man. And it's just
you can't be doing this shit.
Can't be doing that shit. And that is a story you can tell for life. I got pulled in by Secret Service because I did cocaine in front of the president. That's tough to beat. That's a winner for all time.
It can't be topped.
Can't be topped. Anyway, point of all that was, when you build up on something mean that you can't say forever, eventually it comes out of you. Unfortunately, sometimes you're on camera.
Okay, now I'm curious. So,
talk to me.
What are the Gundams you like?
Classic Gundam is fantastic.
I personally think it's unbeatable. But okay.
I'm with you. I don't think there's a better Gundam.
Well, I think it's unbeatable because I personally am not in Gundam for the Gundams. I'm in them for, like, mechs.
I like mechs, and I'm in it for the story. And it tells both a relatable story, and it connects with how I... Like, what's the word? Most of the time when you watch anime about mech, it's a story about how cool the main character is, and Gundam is about how technology moves along and it gets so advanced that a child can beat trained, seasoned people, and it humanizes them, and it shows that these are actual professional pilots who all have names and know each other, and like they're all people who matter, and they're getting murdered by a child, and it's fucking horrible. And that is the essence of the story, you know what I mean? Like, it is about how technology surpasses skill.
I'm just imagining the Buzz Lightyear quote when one of them explodes. Years of academy training wasted!
Yeah, that, basically. But yeah.
For the glory of Zeon! Alright, but what about, just to let you know, my nephew is in the Gundam today. Oh, fuck you! Go fuck it! We're gonna bring out the Blue Thunder of Zeon. I'm gonna bring out, Thaddeus.
This is Jeremy.
My sister's...
kind of related.
Half-son, who's on the Leg Up program at school.
Leg Up program.
Go out there, Jeremy. Go make your mom proud.
I won't.
Be like, oh, well, anyway, you guys had a good run, right? Fuck off. This is why nobody likes the Federation, you toffee-nosed fucks. Oh, we established super amazing mechs. Get out there, Timothy.
Anyway, yeah, that's that, basically. There's a couple of other good ones that are right around that time and in that spirit. Yeah, Gundam like, Thunderbolt's pretty good. War in a Pocket. Oh yeah, like the hit classic SD Gundam. So yeah, that's all my feelings on it. But I don't like to talk to people about Gundam because they'd be like, yeah, I've seen all the Gundams, and I want to go, how, why, how again? Okay, why again?
I would literally follow that up with how, because there are so many. Where do you have the time?
There's so many, and so many of them are so bad.
Do you have a guilty pleasure Gundam?
No.
No? Not even like G Gundam?
I don't like G Gundam. I don't. It's the first
like
Gundam I ever saw. It's the one that I grew up with. As a kid, I hated Gundam because I grew up with G Gundam. I couldn't stand it.
I like it for the stupidest reason. When I was growing up, it would be on like the Saturday morning AM 3 a.m. block. Yeah. It was one of the 5 anime that was on, and I was in it for the theme song. So I would sit through whole episodes to get to the theme song.
That is interesting. So I have a varying version of that story, because that's also when I saw it. So I loved Gundam toys, and G Gundam had all of the silliest, wackiest toy designs. And
that's right. You have like the Noble Gundam and you have Windmill Gundam.
I have Windmill Gundam. Yes, I have the one that just has dragon arms. I have the boxing robot. I have the one that's a football player.
Dude, the boxing one is the best.
It is the best. So I loved those toys. They sold them at a Walgreens near me for like $20, so I could save up like 2 or 3 weeks worth of allowance and buy one. And even as a kid, I was very like OCD. I took really good care of my toys, and I kept all the accessories arranged and all that. And they came with a bunch of bric-a-brac. Yeah. So they were like a dream toy for me. So I would have these cool toys and Gundams and stuff, and then so here comes G Gundam on TV. Like, oh, that's the same thing on the package.
That's the one I have. Those are the ones I have.
Boom. Episode starts, and then it's just fucking 18 solid minutes of people leaning on buildings going, yeah, I don't really care about that. And then 30 seconds of Gundam fighting, like low budget reused animation Gundam fighting, the whole burning finger sequence that is in every episode with no background, so they could reuse it. Absolutely.
Really fast.
So the show I just found on. So I'm sitting here playing with my toys, and I'm looking at the show, and I'm like 13, and I'm like, why does this suck? How can it be so cool and so lame? And I was like, oh, because animation costs money. They can't make it better. And that's when the dream died.
Oh, that's when you're just like...
That's it!
Oh, my toys are lame now.
No, the toys stayed on. I still love the toys.
Okay.
I loved all of them. I still love Gundam toys. I still think, even the Gundams that I don't like, a bunch of them have really fucking cool robots. I got nothing
but
against
just the
that.
source material makes your eyes water.
I cannot sit through 2 episodes of Iron-Blooded Orphans, but it has some of the coolest robot designs I've ever seen. Unwatchable.
Well,
love it if you want to love it. I
haven't
cannot.
seen it. I like the original one.
You ain't missing shit.
I like the G series for that one stupid reason.
Yeah.
And I like all the side story stuff that doesn't have Gundams in it.
I like a few of them.
My favorite Gundam game is still Side Story 0079.
Oh yeah, you showed me that game. Yeah.
The game is phenomenal.
I haven't played like a really good Gundam game. I kind of liked the Gundam Overwatch clone.
Oh yeah.
Well, I played it in beta.
Oh, yeah,
it's a free game. I played it in beta. It's better than Overwatch. It was really fun. Felt good. The actual game came out. I kind of lost my. I don't know, something that didn't click the same way. But I remember playing it and going, yeah, this is a good time.
Like, I get it.
I get it. Yeah, this is fun. This is what I want out of a Gundam game. It's simple. It's not too crazy J anime over the top. And any game that lets me play Zazaku is it's a good time. I always like things to be built really like grounded. I like a story with 2 feet on the ground.
Yeah.
It's okay to have ridiculous shit as long as I have a grounding point so the world's not cuckoo bananas crazy. So if you want to make a game like that one that has fucking Super Saiyan Gundam Exia Time Stop 7 Sword Samurai the robot, the lamest of all Gundams, at least that I know of. But you let me fight it as a Zaku, I'm on board.
Especially if you let me kill it as a Zaku.
Yeah, and it's fucking hard to do. I love the way they designed the Zaku in that game, where he's really hard to use. He's really basic, but he's got like smoke bombs and a flashbang and like a nudge punch that he can use to, like, you gotta fight super dirty and sneak around and fall off radar, and it's a high skill robot. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. I want to feel like my pilot's like an expert old man in there, you know?
Like I came out of Armored Core.
Yeah.
Where in order to do a 3-point turn, I have to master.
It's a 5-button
degree
combo. Yeah, or you have to have built your robot with the forward-backward thruster loaded into your arms like a cartridge, so you can ka-ching, throws a shell out.
Oh, dude, I miss playing versus in that game.
Absolutely. Oh, Last Raven was the best.
What is this town? What is this town with
Sadville.
with like a coffee house and an old shitty brothel down the road?
It's these 2 buildings. In one, right over here are all the businesses, and then this is where all the people live, and that's the whole town. They got it down to a science. Back there's a power plant. This is a Sim City that's just taken off.
Well, too bad.
It is gone.
They did the Bowser code too soon.
Why is California brown?
I think because we have to go back there.
Oh, you think we're gonna come full circle and finish it?
Because we just browned out that one, and then we blew it up.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I really did not expect to be in this long? I thought this was gonna be like, not a one and done, but definitely just like a flash in the pan, like, fuck it.
This is a very, like, simple, just like, hit a button, receive reward game.
It's like a Skinner box kind of thing, but just without the pointless gambly reward.
I'm not familiar with that term, Skinner box.
That's the thing where, like, you press a button and you either get a reward or you get, like, shocked.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that is what it is.
That's pretty much what everybody refers to when they're talking about, like, the Star Wars Battlefront game that came out that pissed everyone off.
Oh, yeah.
Like anything that's just microtransactions up the ass, where you have to...
It's all about just giving you the short-term burst.
Yeah, where you just have to basically crank a jack-in-the-box for an hour and a half to get 5 cents to gamble away and be like, oh, the thing I got was shit.
I'm glad people cracked down and made that shit illegal.
Yeah, I'm glad that those are dying off.
I am ready. So you know what's funny? This is kind of extra interesting to me because there's no will to make this happen, which is why it hasn't. But basic logic is on my side on this one.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the difference between an in-game microtransaction loot box and a booster pack of a trading card game?
At no point will somebody tell you that the booster packs you have don't count anymore because your power went out. Like the
Fair enough.
There is no server for Magic the Gathering that just goes, your cards don't exist anymore.
Okay, you got me there.
That's about it.
But it's pretty narrow.
Yeah, no, that's the only difference. Like you're still just saying, I am going to spend real money on this mist. Well, okay, Gachapons, the same shit.
I agree.
They're just like.
But Gachapons are gambling.
Yeah.
So like that was the reason a lot of loot boxes got banned. They're like, this is gambling, so you can't do it in places where gambling isn't allowed. And booster packs are gambling, 100%.
Yeah. Was that ever like up for debate?
So legally,
like
they aren't.
Yu-Gi-Oh is a gambling system. It just is.
Yeah.
But there's a game around it.
Yeah, but like, so when are people gonna say you can't sell booster packs because that's gambling? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the trick. They're called collectible games, so you're just trying to collect it. The fact that there's like an intrinsic value to them is supposed to be separated.
I don't know. They're the same to me. I would truly prefer to live in a world where booster packs don't exist. I would love it. And I know it does make some people happy, but again, I worked at a card shop for years. It's
Well, I'm going to speak
so
as somebody
fucking depressing.
I'm going to speak as somebody who falls within this category. Those are people with gambling problems.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact I have a minor gambling problem because I fucking love gambling. I also have the ability to just turn it off and be like, I don't have any money.
Well,
I need to stop.
It's like, you know, it's a weird thing. Okay, maybe part of this is that I've never been around like real heavy gambling. I've never.
Shit! I was one time. I went to a place where, I just wanted to play like quick blackjack for fun. I was like, I have this much money and I'm just gonna throw it away because why not? I had a guy roll up, and he acted like he was at a high roller table. He put down like $500 a hand.
Shit.
Yeah, and he was just like, boom, bust. He was like, hit, bust. There was no like.
Oh, he was just shotgunning it.
Yeah, he
was taking shots of gambling.
He was mechanically playing.
Brutal.
And I'm like, dude,
yeah, okay.
That's so much money to be doing that with, but it wasn't to him.
Let me relate that, because I was about to tell a similar story.
Okay.
Standing in a shop and watching somebody buy crates upon crates of HeroClix and just bust it, check it, doesn't have the chase. Crack it, throw behind you. Crack it, throw behind you. You just go
depressing Daft Punk song. Bust it, check it, crack it, chase it. Nope, fuck it, don't need this.
Bust it, crack it, toss it. No, I'll play it.
No,
got it, lost it, need it, want it,
gamble it.
Had it, gonna spend. So for viewers,
get it, lose it, screw it, fuck it.
for viewers at home who don't know, a like box, the HeroClix come in like little boxes that are like $15, or like a bundle of them for $150. And then people buy them in a bigger unit that is 10 of those, so it's a little over $1,000. But so people want to buy them in cases because they want to get the one super
guaranteed,
but
super rare.
But you're still not guaranteed to get the one you want, because there'll be like 3, and they're playable pieces in game that are always crazy good and in competitive scenes. So you just watch someone crack them and toss them and crack them and toss them. And I've just sat there and watched somebody spend $600 cracking boxes and just not get the thing they're after and be like, oh, bummer. Just literally bought $600 worth of garbage that they left in the store.
That was...
And like that just made me sad. I was just like, this is, I don't like being a part of this. I'm bummed. I don't want to sell you more of this, you know?
Yeah, I don't want to enable you.
I don't want to be the dealer that lets you hit on 20 with like $2,000 on the line.
What was this?
You're not gonna win, man. Stop it.
Well, you don't want to be the guy. Well, you don't want to also just be the dude that's like, hey, man, I'm just doing this so that you don't get out there and you find somebody who wants to do this to, hurt you.
Yeah.
I want to give you at least a good deal. That way you're not getting scammed.
I'm as on your side as someone can be while selling you garbage. I
had to fucking live that, dude. My dad got into Pokemon cards because he thought they were going to be like a return investment.
Some of them were. Once upon a
you have to. Well,
you gotta commit. Yeah.
Well, no, you have to find someone who wants to buy them for the price that you've decided they are.
That's where it gets
mind.
you. That's what kills most collectors, is you decide what something's worth, and
then someone disagrees with you.
And then something is only worth what people are willing to buy it for, yeah.
Yeah, I learned that I have like an entire complete collection of the base 151. Mint condition.
Good collection to have.
They are worth nothing. Like, realistically...
They're definitely not worth what people think they are.
Yeah, no.
But as a full collection, you can get 4 digits out of that. If they're all in decent condition, as a full collection to a buyer, you can probably get 4 digits out of it.
They are...
Not high 4 digits, but you know.
Yeah.
You can get over
they're not graded, but they are, in fact, like, factory mint condition.
They're crispy.
The difference being... You have to find the guy who will pay that. That is generally going to be a card shop who is looking to resell them.
Yes, and they're not going to give you that money.
They will not give you the 4 digits.
Absolutely, yeah. That's something that's funny.
There's like a certain amount of legwork that goes into selling collectibles.
Yeah, you can't just dump it off. Well, that's funny because I used to tell people that all the time at the shop. Like, well, it's worth this much. Like, it is if you sell it yourself. Which, if you want to get the full value, I recommend. Like, that's how you should do it. Like, you're not trying to bullshit anybody about what something's worth. You're not like, yeah, lowball you. You're like, yeah, it's worth $1,000. I'll give you 500 because I need to find someone to buy it for I'm doing all the work here.
Yeah,
you can make that $1,000, but you got to go do it.
You have to cut the middleman.
Yeah,
out.
And I'm not getting. Go do it. I completely encourage you. But if you're not gonna, I'm your best bet.
I was selling some die-casts one time, and I was even talking to somebody like, yeah, I got X of it. Like, here's what they're worth. I did the math, and I'm like, but here's what I got for them. They're like, you could have got more. And I was sitting there going like, no,
not.
I probably couldn't myself, because do you know who do you know how hard it was to find somebody who wanted these at all?
Yeah.
I had to talk them into going, look, they're a package deal. The ones I have, you're buying all of them. I'm not gonna like fuck around.
Piecemeal them, yeah. Well, that's a big part of it too. Is like most collections, like you're buying. There's 4 things in here that are valuable, but you can take it all of it or none of it because I'm not getting stuck with the chaff.
Well, yeah, if you look
common.
If you look at anybody who does like a YouTube thing with like old NES games. For every NES, like, I think...
For every Golden Box Zelda, there is 4 Boy and His Blobs, and 100 of the Excite Bikes, and 20 or 30 Duck Hunt / Mario Karts.
Well, I think there's
There's
even, like, footage of, like, AVGN footage of him making that joke of, like, who the fuck would have 10 PlayStations? And he goes to his stack of PlayStations because if you're gonna buy PS1 games,
you're gonna
get it. They probably had a PS1,
and you can't just throw that in the trash.
Well,
it's a piece of history, man.
You can after you objectively destroyed it for a video.
That's a whole nother can of worms. But so that's I've tried to explain that to people before too, where I've just had points because I own a bunch of collectible nonsense. I don't have any like real high value stuff. I don't like to sell shit, first of all. I don't like...
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of... But that's the biggest thing. Is like trying to explain to people. Because like I have valuables. And people are like, oh, you're short on cash. Why don't you sell some stuff? Like, it's not like I can just go up to a vending... Like a Coinstar and dump all my PS1 games. Which I would never sell unless I was like... My life was in danger. But yeah, like I can't just dump them in and get their value out of them. I gotta go on eBay and build a fucking reputation. And sell them one at a time to different people. And manage bids. And comic books are a big one. I learned about that when I first started working at the comic book shop. Like, if you have a valuable comic, you probably can't sell it online because valuable comics are so commonly, like, people dick each other around and fake them or mess with them or sell them, like, advertise them as the wrong quality and stuff.
Yep.
Way more important than anything is your actual reputation as a seller. People have to know who you are. If you're selling anything worth more than $1,000, people have to know your name or they won't buy from you. The guy I worked for would take hits sometimes where he'd just be like, yeah, that guy just dicked me for $800 because I sent it to him. He flipped it. He took my book out, put a low quality book in, took a picture, and sent it back to me. And I just have to give him a bad review and eat that. There's nothing I can do because my reputation is worth way more than $800.
Yeah.
And it's brutal like that. So sometimes you'll have people say like, yeah, I got a comic worth $1,000. Like, good luck selling it.
Yeah. Well, good luck getting the 1,000 you deserve.
Yeah. I always tell people just fucking keep it. If it's worth something now, it'll be worth something later. Comics age better than stocks.
You'll know you have the item when somebody comes to you for it.
Yes. You will hit a critical mass.
Chicken?
Oh.
Damn!
Oh, it just ended. Yeah, they were like, you got the chicken, get the fuck out.
Lincoln?
Wait, what did that say? Oh, it said hold up during your jump to grab buildings. Thanks.
Yeah, never would have figured that out over halfway through the U.S. of America.
Yeah. But, yeah, it is...
U.S. of M.
U.S. of M. It is funny, yeah, when you have something valuable, sometimes you're like, it's worth something if I can find the exact person who wants to buy it. Like my stupid Metal Gear Solid figures. Like, I need to find one person who's willing to tell me what it's worth.
Man?
Other than you. Who will give me what it's worth.
Fuck, give me a price.
I know
you don't want to
I don't know what it's worth. I kind of do at this point, to be honest with you.
Give me a price, you son of a bitch.
Here's the thing. I fucking love having them, but first of all, I want to open them all the time. When I look at them, my eyeballs itch to rip. They're all just mint in box. And I want toys. My original plan was to finish the collection, sell them to someone so I can buy ones that are already out of box. So that I can, because they're worth like a quarter of the amount, so that I could make a little cash and get toys out of it. Yeah. But without destroying, you know,
good toys.
Good toys.
The value of a collectible.
Exactly. But it's like when I put them up on a wall, I'm like, oh, I'm afraid the sun will damage them or they'll deteriorate. Like, I have to dust them and clean them. And, like, I am afraid that I am damaging them by owning them. So I put them in a box. And then I'm like, what's the point of fucking having them? They're in a box. Why did I do this to myself? I have no idea.
That's how I feel about my physical copy of my Cromartie High mangas.
Oh, yeah.
I've gotten to a point where I love Cromartie High, but I'm probably not gonna go through and like
finish the collection.
Finish it. So I've decided I'm probably just gonna give them off to Zach. Because Zach loves Cromartie High.
That, to me, I feel like that is the best thing you can do. If you have a collectible you don't want anymore, give it to someone who's never gonna sell it.
Yeah.
I've gotten a bunch of crap on exactly those. I can't, if somebody gives me a fucking birthday card, I can't throw it away. Like, it's in my
Not
heart.
At least until the person who gave it to you died.
Dude, I cannot do, it's a legit problem. I have to keep shit. So I have a lot of collectible crap that people have given me because they're like, oh, here, you'll take care of this. I'm like, I will. And I'm burdened with this for life.
Thank you for the white elephant, Your Majesty.
It's a really cool thing to do. I have a bunch of valuable video games that I got on those terms where somebody was like, well, just keep them. And I'm like, really? Really? They're worth money? Like, yeah, but you're not going to sell them. Like, fuck, you're right. I'll never sell them.
You fucking called me on it, you bitch.
Yeah, I'll get buried with these. I will find a worthy successor and leave it in my fucking will.
It's a tank!
Never throw it away.
Get away!
But that is different. I love looking at my collection of PS1 games. It's one of those things that I just stand there with my hands on my hips going, you know what? This world's gonna be all right.
I think a game collection just looks classy and
feels good. Feels good.
If you can get one on like a bookshelf, it's got charm to it.
Before things got out of hand, I used to dream of buying a bunch of just like bulk empty DVD cases and making fake covers for my Steam games.
Oh, that's
just like shittily drawing them and putting them on in like a big library thing. So when I'm standing around, I can actually physically look at something and go, I want to play one of my Steam games and have the luxury of glancing through it. But that's a rich man's folly.
What kind of cases?
Just like simple DVD cases because they're the cheapest.
Oh, bijou cases?
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
What is it? Bijou?
Bijou.
Okay, sure.
I'd go jewel cases like the CDs.
I would love to, but it's even more of an investment. But they look so much better.
They look better. I think they sound better.
Everything about them is. I understand PS2 cases,
which is it's stupid to say they sound better, but you know what I mean, right?
Oh, I absolutely. It's all the little things.
They have a little clickety clack to them.
There's something when you pick up a heavy PS1 game, you're like, this is gonna be a good experience. It's just in you. It's sometimes like that with PS2 games too. But the case is definitely cheaper, but I do appreciate the standardization that like most things have that same case now. So your shelves can be kind of universal, but
well, now we have the Blu-ray case, which is a little squatter.
I hate fucking Blu-ray cases. I don't have a good read. I just don't like them. I just look at them and I'm like, you're the odd man out. I still don't believe in Blu-ray. I look at them.
It'll never make it.
It'll never make. I look at them and I get the same feeling I imagine people used to get when they saw Laserdisc. I'm like, what's the point of you?
Laserdiscs are huge.
I know, but it's like I see it and I'm like, DVDs are a nickel, right? Why would I buy something on Blu-ray? Is hilariously cheap now because nobody uses it because we're losing. Physical media is fading, but like,
it's a shame.
DVDs cost nothing. So I can collect so much stuff, and it's so cheap to do. It's such an inexpensive hobby. It's like collecting books at this point. You buy them by the trash bag full. So why would
trash bag of books?
And why would I need? I don't need higher quality than that because I don't own a TV nicer than that, and I'm not likely to buy one.
TV better than my own eyes.
Yeah, I have always owned a TV that is the cheapest I'm allowed to buy. So until 4K TVs are the dirt cheap TV that no one wants, I'm not gonna own one, and I really don't care.
And I guess also, what are you gonna do? Collect your HD DVD collection? I think there's like 5 of them in existence.
On the DVD player I don't own.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the fucking point? That got me. That I had a point where I'm like, oh, I was looking at my DVDs. I want to watch this. I don't have anything to watch this on. Yeah, I need to plug in my PlayStation 2 to watch this DVD.
I did that with my VHS tapes recently. I finally got rid of all of them.
Aw, that's a hard pain.
I was really bummed because I liked having them because I grew up with VHS tapes. They're inconvenient. They look like shit over time.
They are what's it called? VCRs and VHSs are natural born enemies that live to kill each other. They're both biding their time till one can slay the other. But I love them.
Yeah.
I just do. There's VHSs have this shit quality that I'm deeply nostalgic for.
They're like the records of VHS tapes. It's like that thing where they sound better with the crackle.
Yeah, maybe. Here's the thing. I didn't grow up with records, but I love the sound of records. VHSs, I know it's just because I grew up with them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm certain that there's nothing to it except that I watched a million billion VHSs when I was a kid. I don't think I listened to a record till I was like, I would hear them here and there. My dad would listen to records once in a while, but it was very rare.
I will say, VHSs do have one very clear advantage over DVDs. You can put a picture on the side of the box, and it will make a scrolling picture if you have a collection.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Can't really do that with a DVD.
Only with box sets.
Oh, you mean of VHS tapes or DVDs?
DVDs.
Yeah.
If you have a fat box set, you could. But yeah, no. In general, you're right. There's no.
Not to circle back around to Dragon Ball Z.
How dare you. I knew it was coming.
Well, because they used to do that. They had They had pictures on the sides.
The DVDs do
I wish
as well.
they didn't have 2 different ones.
Fucking asshole. You know what's funny? Did you know anyone who completed the lineup? Did you ever do it?
Yeah.
Did you ever the whole dragon? Oh,
not for the VHS. For like a single saga, I did.
Ah, okay.
I have the entire one for the mangas.
I've seen it. It's beautiful. I had a friend.
42 volumes, crispy.
I don't count
Super.
That's a whole nother conversation. I have a friend who had the VHS tapes in the one giant line that had the whole Shenron, and it took up a shelf the length of a room. And I was like, "Do you ever watch those?" And he was like, "Nah, I watched it on DVD, but I just wanted them all." He had collected them, and it clicked with me like if I had those, it would make me sad because I would never use them and I'd have to get rid of them from space. And I realized, like, I'm so glad I never got them.
Yeah.
It would have been a fabulous collection to finish, but then I would have had to watch it die. Yeah, then what?
Where do we go from here?
I guess that's the story of any collection, right? You work hard to get them all, and then what?
I mean, we're playing Rampage on the NES right now.
Because it's awesome.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it's part of an NES collection that doesn't go anywhere. It just looks nice.
I guess that's true.
There are
like,
cheaper
there's
and easier ways to do this.
But this is the cool way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feels nice. Feels good.
Hacha!
Give me.
I think when the Rampage movie came out, they actually did do a special edition of this that went out free to play online.
Oh, that's cool.
I want be like, here's the thing that we made a movie out of. Check it out.
I want to get a cart of this game and make a cover with the cover of the 2016 film Rampage and put it on the NES cartridge. There we go. This one was laid out weird.
Oh, fuck this stupid tank.
I do weird glasses.
Oh, cool.
Doesn't this guy look like when Lemmy Koopa grew up?
Hi, guys. What the hell? The tank went in the water.
That's a hell of a tank.
Came out of the pier. It's like a Metal Gear. A machine to bridge infantry and artillery.
2 legs of the future. The age of the tank is over.
Oh, if this was the final boss, like the final level of Metal Gear Solid 4, it's just a Rampage.
Metal Gear, if the final, if the last level of Metal Gear Solid 4 was Rampage, it would be less ridiculous than the ending of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah. Yeah, MGS4 was a clown show.
It was, but I loved it. It was pure, uncut, straight from fucking Tijuana.
Mouth.
Yeah. If you bled Kojima into a cup and drank it, that game is what you would hallucinate.
It's a good trip.
It's a good trip. I love you,
What's
Kojima.
What's that? It's a good. What's that?
Good change.
Good change.
You know what I realized recently?
What's up?
It kind of clicked with me. Because I've gone on record. I loved Death Stranding.
I did too, but I liked it. I liked the exact opposite shit other people liked in it.
Really?
I liked the workaday transport.
Me too. I liked everything, honestly. That game top to bottom, I could talk forever about it. I think it's really interesting. I love that it takes place in this, like... the quickest version of it, when I first started playing the game, I was like, I think I hate this world because I hate all the people in it. They're just these really decadent layabout people, like, bring me everything and I'll pay you in its publicity. But as the game went on, like, it acknowledged that that's why this world is garbage, and I'm like, okay, I'm back on board. Like, the thing that I thought was this game's weakness, it turned into its greatest strength. And just the minute-to-minute gameplay, I just found very pleasing and enjoyable, and it didn't make me do... I was excited to do side content because I was interested to see what I would get out of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good sign.
Where they're just like, hey, do you want, like, a backpack that transports into a dolly that lets you take, like, just walk gravity free?
Fucking yes! Are you kidding me? And it's like, well, do some side missions. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like, yeah, you want to do a bunch of side shit and get a snowboard? I kind of do, yeah.
And then I love the online community for it.
Yeah.
Where everybody just comes together like, let's just build a road.
Let's build this together.
My favorite was me and like a group of dudes got together and we just built a zip line track that went all the way through the snowy mountains to the end of the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and it would stop at each place where you had to take stuff.
Super efficient get around.
Yeah, and that was just, we all worked together to make that one thing. We were like, all right, on this day, you go over and you do some maintenance on it. You spray it down.
Cool.
All right, you go over there this day, and we'll just we'll increase some bandwidth together. We'll put together like a side project, and we'll start building on we'll start building the roads out. It was just a really cool group project.
Yeah, that is a huge and awesome aspect of that game. But you could play it solo, and it really wouldn't harm you any.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, the point of all this, I loved that game. I came into it very like, we'll see, and I walked away super positive.
Actually, I think that was the strongest thing about it, was that you could do all of that multiplayer shit.
Yes.
But you had to do the single player side of it first. You had to trudge through the snow with no items.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You had to take that spill off the edge of a cliff and be like, oh, fuck! Now I gotta go get everything and snowshoes
falling off the
through
shit,
hell.
watching your dreams tumble down a mountain. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get fired.
That was the requirement before you could do any of that stuff. Where it's like, oh, cool, I got the magic zip line that takes me wherever I want.
So
you still had to earn it.
So anyway, putting all that aside,
what were we talking about?
I was really excited for that game. And I was talking about it recently, like, oh man, that game was great. And somebody was like, oh, Kojima's working on the sequel, and I was like, fucking yes!
Callisto Protocol, I think it is.
What? No, that's a different game. That's
is it? I thought that was just the sequel.
No, Callisto Protocol is the Dead Space guys' new game.
Oh.
That came out though.
Okay.
But anyway, so I'm psyched that he's making a new one. I was like, I think that's gonna be the first game in a long time that I'm gonna pay $60 for.
That you're hyped for?
I am happy. I comfortably got my $60 out of. I didn't even pay full price for it, but if I had, I would not be disappointed. It's been a long time since I've gotten $60 worth of game out of a $60 game. I've gotten hundreds of dollars out of $5 games. But as far as like actual mainstream, there's no company around right now that I trust to deliver a good $60 game.
For me, that was NRS. That was I spent more than 60 on MK11.
Fair enough. I
spent a stupid stupid amount.
I really like
between DLC and all that other crap.
I really like Mortal Kombat 11, but I don't love any fighting game enough to pay that much money for it. It's not about the quality of it; it's the amount I'm gonna get out of it.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna be worth it to me in the long run.
You're not gonna hit it like an OCD.
Yeah, that's
like I need to know everything. I have to get everything. You're gonna hit a point where you're like, I've seen enough.
Exactly, but I don't doubt that I don't doubt that quality in it. But there's been a lot of like the last like couple of years. There's been a lot of games where I'm like, you were barely worth your money, but our standards for AAA games are so low. It's like AAA games are an F student. So anytime they're just
anytime they even show up to class,
sneak by, you're like, good job. Great job, FromSoft. You've really got potential if you just stick it out.
Oh, you sure did make the same game again.
You sure did try your best. And that's like where we're at. Yeah. FromSoft making the same game over and over is a big part. But I'm trying to. There was another one that was. Because
I enjoyed Elden Ring. I didn't even finish it.
It was fine. It reminded me too much of Dark Souls 3, which was just a bummer. But it was better than Dark Souls 3, but Dark Souls 3 was really just like a 40-hour heartbreak.
It was just sticking your fucking balls on a sandwich toaster.
That's 100% what it was. It was heartbreaking because in like Dark Souls 1 was all about being difficult and mysterious. Those are the two ways I would describe that game. And at the end of it, we all walked away like, what a game. This game was made by a genius. Like Miyazaki's this fucking Howard Hughes level guy. And people spent years trying to suss out, like, oh, well, what does it mean? And what does it mean? And we
got through his spruce moose.
We developed all of this interesting backstory of, like, what it could be and what it would be. And he had the good sense to keep going, I'll never tell. And then Dark Souls 2 came out, and it was cool and interesting and full of whatever. But it was made by a different guy.
Was it?
Yeah, it was made by one of the directors of Dark Souls 1. This is why everybody hates it. So it was made by the visual director. So Dark Souls 2 tells its story visually instead of through banknotes.
Gotcha.
And a lot of people were not a fan of that. But anyway, putting that aside, it was a dark horse. People have mixed opinions on it. But there was so much of the mystery of Dark Souls 1 that people loved so much. And then Dark Souls 3 came out and tried to answer all those questions, and we came to the
nobody asked.
Well, we had to make peace with the fact that the answers to all of our questions were all the dumbest possible answers. It's just an ass-backwards game that solves no problems, answers every question wrong, forgets what's happening constantly, it's really muddled, and people just forgive it. They're like, yeah, but it's nothing but reused assets and tired concepts, because it's like trying to communicate that the series is ending. Like, how far are you gonna bend over backwards for this game to suck? And it just, everything about it is fucked up. And I think after Bloodborne, he just, like, that was it. That was, like, the last game. I used to say it was Sekiro, but a different guy made Sekiro. It wasn't him. So it's like, oh, okay, that's why it's good and the games before and after it aren't. He just, like, that was it. Bloodborne was his last, that was his golden goose. Dark Souls 3 was a train wreck. Elden Ring doesn't have a story. There's nothing.
If it does, I didn't. I got really far in that game, and then I just realized...
Just don't care.
I'm working really hard. Well, because I'll be honest, I wasn't playing it as much for just me. I was recording it at the time. And I kept getting to a point where I'm like, man, I'm making like 45-minute episodes out of this, and I don't even know what's happening anymore.
You never do. I beat that game not knowing who the last boss was, why I fought them, or what was accomplished by doing so. And I was paying attention. I was reading the notes.
And you're like, I was trying. I didn't fall asleep in class.
I've played all the fucking games. Like, I know how to keep up with the way the lore is. And a big part of it was that I was just so apathetic to what was happening. And there was some interesting ideas in it, but just at the end of the day, I've done this song and dance. But I was gonna say something about that shit. I lost it. Elden Ring was a bummer. I
still had fun with it.
The best way I heard it described by someone who loved the game. What's his name? He's another YouTuber. His name's Seth Zetak. He said it best. Elden Ring doesn't have a story. Saying Elden Ring and talking about the story is like reading a bunch of Post-it notes in a random order and saying, what a good book. It's just
which I mean, shit. There are some books I feel like that is what I did with them.
That is what it feels like sometimes. But anyway, it's just yeah. I was so disillusioned by the time I played that game, and I realized like I don't trust FromSoft anymore. And then Armored Core 6 came out, and it's okay, but it kind of like proved my suspicions right. I was like, there was two terrible Armored Core games in a row, and everybody has come out of the woodworks being like, no, it's like the old Armored Core, it's like the old, this is what it's gonna be, and it is fine. In a Void, it's a cool game. I don't really have any gripes with it, but I was watching somebody play it, and I just, on my computer, busted open an emulator and just started playing, like, Armored Core Arena, which is, like, one of the PS1 games, and I was like, this looks, sounds, and plays better. I'm more excited about this PS1 game that I'm watching than this modern $80 game that's just all explosions and flying robots and shit, and I was just like, it's definably worse.
Oh.
Whoa, that's it!
Look at that! Congratulations, everyone's dead!
We're awesome. We're the best.
Anyway, let's go ahead and just keep
rambling on.
Keep sucking off retro gaming as a whole, and keep giving the middle finger to current AAA.
Yeah, I don't. Is there a oh yeah, you said NetherRealm. Is there any other company you would buy a $60 game from that you're just like, if they're making it, I trust them? Because I do believe NetherRealm puts the work in. I honestly, I've really come to respect it. I used to trash on them a lot, but I've really come around.
Okay, so you just mean like any game they put out, I don't give it 2 looks.
Well, you would like, okay, I'm gonna give this an honest chance because you guys make good games. It's tough, isn't it?
I want to say Double Fine.
Okay, interesting choice. Double Fine, I feel like you're rolling the dice, but those dice are always worth rolling. Whatever you get will be interesting.
There's only one game that I wasn't super on board with, and that was the Cave.
I never played the Cave.
Well, I didn't plunk down $60 for it.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I plunked down a reasonable amount for the Cave, and the Cave is basically it's kind of your like Manic Mansion kind of setup.
Okay.
Where here's 3 characters,
awesome.
And they're going to combine together to fix.
Gotcha.
To get through. Yeah.
Yeah, Lost Vikings, but very far from each other.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Each character has their own specific room in the cave that you deal with, and the other 2 are ancillarily there to do who gives a shit. And then all the rooms in between are more Rampage is happening. You know what? Nobody wants to hear me go on about this game. So that was Rampage. We killed everybody. The world exploded. All right, have
Double Fine. Double Fine's awesome.
Val, what are you doing on your channel?
What am I doing on my channel?
Yeah.
I don't know right now. I am moving possibly twice in a row in the next 2 months. Anything could be happening, but check out Automaton. The stuff we have up is cool. If this is your first time hearing me and Ben, I don't know how that could be, but
that would be weird.
If you're tuning into this and you're like, I like this dynamic, there is more of it than you could possibly eat. There is enough for you to hate us over on the Automaton channel.
Actually, you might have already heard some of it in the shorts on this channel.
Could be.
I harvest that shit.
Absolutely, that's what it's there for.
It's
a beautiful tree,
like a little thieving farmer in somebody else's yard. Who's just like, I put the seeds in. Those are my seeds.
I am too neurotic to do anything with a lot of that stuff, so I'm just happy it's out there in the world.
All right, well.
So yeah, check out Automaton if you want to, or more here because I'm sure I'll be around.
That is true. It's October. You're all over the place here.
If you like hearing me bitch,
what the fuck?
If you like hearing me, they're on timers. The little guy comes up and dynamites it if you leave it too long.
Huh.
That's the thing to incentivize you.
Well, catch everybody on the next one.
Goodbye.